Connie introduced me to this song many years ago. It's written by Maurice Stearns, and it was one of Connie's favorite songs years and years ago. I'm going to share the screen with you. I know it's not a Christmas song, but we're going to make it our new Christmas song. How's that sound?
It's our theme song, forever and ever.
Oh, let me just go back to this. Bear with me as we had this all queued up. Let me just stop sharing that and go down to this. There, talk amongst yourselves for a moment, won't you?
I see a new person joined us. It's Arlene.
Yay.
Hi, Arlene.
Okay, so we want to welcome you to our Froggy Friday Christmas celebration. Christmasi and Gemma. I'll keep saying it till I get it right. Can you guys see the screen? Gwen, can you see the screen?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, we're gonna sing because lots of you know this song. Sing along with me. We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another, born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. Bring in the drums. We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another. We're born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. When it's all said and done, we are one.
Let's see the one. Everybody put up your one.
One.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's start as we do with all things, which is the foundation of what we are in this teaching. It is the truth, it is the way. And we start with treatment for that grounding, that foundation. So join with me in this moment, in this place of stillness, in this knowing, in this recognition of the one power, one light, one divine that I know that each of us is in that mind, in that spirit with each other. I release anything that is unlike the light of the one. I let go of any fears, any regrets, any angers, or anything that is separating me from the others, knowing that we are part of that power of the Christ love and Christ consciousness that is in the heart of all mankind. As we celebrate our God morning, our God night of birth, I open my heart and my mind to begin anew, knowing that I am always guided, always guarded in this divine love. I am so deeply grateful for the abundance of health, love, laughter, joy, and beauty and stability that I embrace in this newness of this gratitude, of the never-ending gifts of the source and supply that this Christ consciousness brings. I give eternal thanks for our spiritual community coming together to celebrate life as one. I release this knowing it is done. I let it go with confidence, and together we say, and so it is. Woo! All right, let's get started because today I'm here along with Reverend Gwen, and I am called to share beyond the hustle and bustle of this season. And despite the obvious challenges that we have had this year, I come to you regardless of the outward circumstances of the word, wondering, how can I serve you better? How can I better serve all of you? And today I felt the best way would be to share what I know about celebrating the life within and how that relates to the traditional Christmas story. Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said, love and God are synonyms. They are the same thing. And here at the Center for Spiritual Living Kenya, we are a trans-denominational teaching. And what that means is we honor the teachings of every great religion, all the great philosophies and spirituality, and we celebrate each and every person who is on their pathway. So we come here to celebrate Christmas time, this celebration that we have happening right now. And whatever it looks like for you, and wherever you're celebrating it, and now is such an impactful time in our lives. And in particular, and I'll say for my life as well, and I will just assume in your lives, it's so powerful. Celebrating at Christmas time has been something that we have done for so many years, that we look forward to it and that we anticipate it in so many different ways. Yes? But it's important for us to know that this holiday that we celebrate isn't just a holiday here where we are in Canada, in North America, and Kenya, around the Western world and the globe. And it's not even just for Christians. In reality, this is a holiday. This is a time of year. This is a season that has always been a celebration from the very beginning of humankind. It is deeply ingrained in our genetic being and our makeup. It is something that we do, and we come together like we come together this morning, this evening, wherever you are, forever. And that is the celebration of light that comes forward, that we talk about this time of year. Some call it winter solstice. It can be called Kwanzaa. There's many different names for it and many different ways and times that it can be celebrated. And that's exactly what we're doing right here, right now. We're at a time, in the history of the world that has always been celebrated at this week, this month, at this time on our calendars. And despite the incredible year, 2020, despite 2020, we still choose to come together to continue a tradition of love, of unity, of faith, of givingness, of creativity. So I thank you. I thank you for choosing to share and sign in with us today. I am so, so extraordinarily grateful for that. So what I would love to do is invite Reverend Gwen at this time to bring us in with song and sing along at your end in your own way, and let it be how you celebrate. Why won't this go be with me? Just a minute.
Try the arrow at the bottom there.
Yeah,
No,
let me get there. Let me get there. Hold on, hold
no
on.
problem. We are all patient with technology, aren't we?
We are so patient with technology. Okay,
We
here I
know that
come.
Zoom and the internet is connected all day long for us, and especially right now.
I am multitasking.
So wherever you are in your own homes, join in the voice. I know you're on mute, but we can hear you. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn redeeming grace. Christ, Lord, at thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Reverend Gwen. Woohoo! You guys didn't know you were getting like a twofer. We're ministers and we both sing.
Do a little dance, shake a little love.
Get down tonight. Get down tonight. That was beautiful, Reverend Gwen. So beautiful. So as I mentioned, this time of the year has been called by many, many names, and it does many, many things. And even as we celebrate right here in this Zoom room, so full of love, what we can know is that this celebration that we all have, well, the vast majority of the entire human race in some way, in some place, is doing the exact same celebration as we are right here, right now. And here's what I mean. The Inca celebrated a thing called Salkantay Trek, which means Festival of the Sun. And for the Buddhists, this is a time of celebration as they celebrate Bodhi Day, which is the day of enlightenment, celebrating that day in this period of time that the Buddha experienced enlightenment. And the Celtics brought forward the winter solstice, which after that day, the 21st of December, they celebrate the days getting longer where there's more light. And the Hindus have Diwali, which is known as the Festival of Lights. And that's the Hindu holiday commemorating and celebrating the victory of good. And of course, there's Hanukkah that's happening right now, which is the 8-day festival commemorating the event and allowing a single day's worth of sacred oil to burn bright for the entire 8 days. So what I want to share with you is something that I found incredibly fascinating over the years of my research of Christmas, and I want to share it with you right here and right now. On this day, December 25th, Jesus wasn't the only proclaimed God born on this day. Horus, an Ethiopian Sudanese god born on this day, December 25th, around 3,000 years before Jesus. Buddha, the Napoleon god, born on the 25th of December, about 563 years before Jesus. Krishna, the Indian god, born on this day, 900 years before Jesus. An Iranian god called Zarathustra, born 1,000 years before Jesus. Hercules, a Greek god born on this day, Mithra, a Persian god, Thamus, a Babylonian god, 400 years born before Jesus, Hermes, another Greek god, Adonis, and Jesus Christ, of course, a Roman god born on December 25th, around 300 AD. So I share this with you because I want you to know that this day, December 25th, the season of celebration, really belongs to all of humanity in one form or another, in one belief or another. This day and this time of year is something that we celebrate throughout the entire world. It's not just a Christian festival, a Christian celebration. Indeed, folks, I want to tell you what it is a celebration that's been birthed from us from the very beginning of time. It's powerful. And as we come forward and we realize and recognize that there's something new that is coming out into this being of light, this new light that's been born again on our calendars as of December 21st solstice, what's happening from this time on, we have a coming back to and a growing stronger of. And the days are getting longer and the new birth of seeds are planted and new birth of things in our field in Africa as we are entering into our growing season. Yes, coming forth to feed us in the upcoming months. So really, really what I'm saying is this is a time of intention. Today, tonight, we celebrate this idea of the birth of Jesus in this world. But I want you to know it's not just Jesus we're talking about being born. It's the birth of life itself that we're referring to when we enter into and come into this season. Now, I believe in Jesus. I strongly believe in Jesus, as did Dr. Holmes, the founder of this philosophy, religious science, the very philosophy that we espouse in all of our classes, Froggy Fridays, and our community. And I want you to know, I believe Jesus was a real man in a real place. And he truly was that individualization of what we call Christ consciousness. Hear me now, Christ consciousness. And that he came onto this plane with this incredible teaching, and that teaching has spread throughout the world. As a matter of fact, I believe so strongly in it that I actually believe that Jesus was the Son of God. Just like I believe that each of you are the sons and daughters of God. I do not believe that there is a separation or a difference, that there is only one God, one power, just like the song we sang about, that there is only one illumination, there is only one enlightenment, and that enlightenment comes by many names. Here we might call it Jesus, Yahweh, God, Spirit, one mind, universal mind. It doesn't really matter what we call it or how we call it, but call it we must. I want to share a story with you. It's kind of a sidebar from where we are right now, but sometime after I had been in this teaching, and even long after I was an ordained minister of this science of mind teaching for some time, my husband and I went on a vacation to a warm destination south of us. Can't wait to travel again. We arrived at our resort where we were staying. We dropped off our luggage and we went down to get oriented with the property, as people do. So right away, we met people from all around the world experiencing the same kind of vacation. And we met this particular couple and decided to share a table with them and share a drink and a conversation. Now, I don't know about you, but when you meet someone, whether it's as a couple or as an individual on a date, or anyone, when you meet someone for the first time and you want to learn a little bit about them, what's one of the first questions you ask? So, what do you do for work? I'm not sure if that's the same thing in Kenya, but here, that's the most common, easiest way to get a read on someone. What do you do for a living? So I told them I was a minister. They said, what kind of minister? I told them I'm a minister of religious science. They said, do you believe in Jesus? I said, yes. They said, do you believe that Jesus is the Savior and without him you can't get to heaven? I said, well, and there's Neil waving me off because he knows I love this teaching and I'm about to have an educational moment. The new friend said to me, do you believe Jesus? This is a true story, Gwen. Do you believe that Jesus was our Savior and the Son of God? And I said, I don't believe he was our Savior, but I said, yes, I believe Jesus is the Son of God. And I also believe that all people are the sons and daughters of God. Well, I'm telling you, they excused themselves from our table so fast it would have made your head spin. The very next day, we're resting on the beach, and that very same couple, they were in front of us in lawn chairs. Now, they didn't know we were behind them. And we overheard them speaking to another couple about us. And we overheard them saying to the other couple that we were the type of people that thought that we were God. Now, if you know anything about me, through this teaching, this science of mind, there's a part of me that has just learned that what someone else thinks about me is none of my business, period. But there's another part of me that's not so enlightened, that likes to be a little, shall we say, because it's Christmas, a little bit more on the naughtier side. So I had a drink sent over to them. And when they said we didn't order the drink, I said to the server, simply tell them that it was from God. They kind of shrugged their shoulders and were watching from a distance, and they were wondering, what's going on, but they tasted it. Now, when this fellow tasted it, he said to the server, what's the name of this drink? It's delicious. And the server said to them, it's El Diablo. Loosely translating, that says the devil. Well, they literally dropped the drink. I'm human. Forgive me. Shh, don't tell Santa. Don't tell Santa. So when I'm asked, do I believe in Jesus? That's what the Christmas season is about to me. I think it's about the awareness and the ability we have to awaken to the beauty and the magnificence of life around us, and to awaken to the truth of who we are and whose we are, to be able to truly share the love and the joy and the wonderful opportunities to rejoice that we can see in the world around us. Yes? Yes, I believe that Christmas, and I want you to know I was raised like many of us with the traditional Christian background. And I believe Christmas is really just about loving. I think it's about a place where we can feel love and we can bring it forward into life. And that love, well, it just gives us a taste. Have you ever noticed that? It just gives us just a sense of it when we come together and we help someone and and we resonate with that love, or we hear a certain song and we resonate with it. There's something that begins to come together when our hearts are beating together as one at the same time, at the same place. And we're stirred and we're moved and we're percolating and we're moved by something that is deeper than our commonality. It's deeper than what we know of the world around us. We're moved by something that is awakening within us, that awakens and stirs in us and says that there's something greater. There's something even more wonderful. There's something more passionate, more giving, more valuable in the world than just the stuff that we're attempting to hold on to, the stuff, the possessions we have, or the things that we want, but we don't have. Those are the type of things that can block us or stop us from being able to truly have that transformation, that feeling, that place of enlightenment into that place of true connection, into that place of Christ consciousness, into that place of connection to that of which Jesus, the great master teacher, demonstrated in his life and how he shared it through his entire being and through his expression. You see, in this teaching, we believe that Jesus was the great example, not the great exception. And that it is our job in life to rise, to evolve, to move in consciousness, to move into our belief system to a place where we can recognize within ourselves that we are worthy and deserving. And that the spiritual practices that we do, the chanting, the treating, the meditation, or whatever your pathway is, that it exists to allow us to rise to that consciousness that Jesus and Buddha and Muhammad, blessed be his name, that they all rose to, that they all might tangibly have touched and connected that experience. Yes? And that's what it is. It's the symbol of this lighting the way, this star that the astronomers are calling the Star of Bethlehem. How many of us seen it? Oh my gosh, I saw it the other night. I looked out my window, it had the tellings. I could see the circles around it, the magnificence of the expansion and the extension of the world in physical form. And that's what it's about, the expansion and the extension of that light that illuminates, that shines, that radiates from each one of us. As within, so without. Therefore without, so within. So we can recognize and we can realize that is the rising to that spiritual consciousness, to that awakening that we seek to do. And at Christmas time, oh, we brush it. We get a glimpse of it. And there are moments where the light is so deep within us that we can feel it and we can sense it and we can taste it and we can smell it. And some other times it might not feel so easy to do that. The story itself of the birth of Jesus is marked by so many different aspects of this. Do you ever wonder why in the story there was an inn, but there was no room to stay? So he was born in a manger. If you have ever read the Bible and you look at the birth of Jesus metaphysically or metaphorically, if you read the Bible and you look at the birth of Jesus, it's literally a translation of the story that resonates with all of humanity. The interpretation, the metaphysical interpretation, there's no room at the inn, and the baby is being born in a manger. And what you're seeing there is a reference to your own mind. Within our own being and within our own life, we're so filled with form things, stuff, that there's no room for a new idea of the Christ consciousness within us. No room in our personal individual belief systems to believe that there's something possible within us. So what happens with this idea of this Christ within us individuals? It must be born on its own, outside, and enter in. And his parents, Joseph and Mary, Joseph, metaphorically, metaphysically. Joseph being the intellect, the idea that drives and guides and nurtures this Christ idea. The Christ idea of what? Of the individualization of the light that exists within each of us right here and right now. The realization and the recognition of the beauty and the magnificence that resides within each of you, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, if you're on the Zoom room in the comfort of your own homes, or if you're living in the slums and you don't know, it exists even in folks that don't know. It resides inside of you. And as it resides inside of you, how do you birth it? As Joseph said, and he's the intellect, that's the discipline to be able to raise up and guide and let that idea grow. And it's those ideas that structure us to allow us to move into the area that we choose of this idea. And Mary was pure intuition. She was that idea that comes forward in each of us each and every day. It's like I said earlier, that I talked about, that opened my heart. We glimpse it. We brush it, we just touch and get a glimpse of that sweetness, of that light within us, and that intuitive knowing of the truth of our own being. And then in the story, we enter into the Magi, the 3 wise men traveling, following that star, bringing gifts, and they trusted the light, the star, to lead the way. So the 3 wise men, they come bearing gifts, and they represent the higher thoughts, our higher consciousness that enter into our being that the gifts will bring. We have frankincense, gold, and myrrh. Gold is the tangible wealth, the personal wealth, the type of wealth that you can give away and change the world and help the world transform. Our community receives this love all the time. Frankincense, it's the incense. It's the sweetness that brings the treatment that we bring into our mind and our lives. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when I walk into a room and there's incense burning, I automatically take a breath and go to this gentle, quiet place, and I become receptive and open. Any of you know what I'm talking about? It's been used for thousands and thousands of years for that purpose. And myrrh, I found this fascinating, just extraordinarily fascinating. And to put a metaphysical spin on it, myrrh is actually an embalming fluid. And it, to me, represents our need to be able to kill off the old in order to receive the new. To bring into our being a new idea, that new inspiration, that new acceptance, intuition, recognition, that new belief. And it comes together in that perfection to awaken the soul, awaken my soul, awaken your soul, awaken all of our souls to take that next step into the evolution of the life of Christ consciousness. Yes? Dr. Ernest Holmes defined Christ consciousness. He said, the Christ within is the divine realization of wholeness, unity, and the good that resides within us. Our true divine nature, the light that is in us. And this is exactly what the meaning of the season is. And it always has been the meaning of the season for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, folks, where we have found ourselves in a situation where we have been stirred and awakened and shocked and moved by the renewing of light in our life, reinvigorated, re-empowered, released, restored, and renewed. And every culture, in one way or another, that is at all practicing spirituality, has celebrated it in some fashion. Usually the giving of gifts, the sharing of life, of food, of treasures by the heart, the sharing of self, which is the great inspiration to moving forward into the beingness and into life, Christ consciousness. Ernest Holmes said, we have a power. We have a power within us that is greater than anything that will ever contact in the outer. A power that can overcome every obstacle in our life and shall set us safe, satisfied, and at peace It will heal us. It will allow us to be prosperous in a new light and in a new life. So this month we celebrate the birth of him who we think to have been one of the greatest spiritual geniuses ever lived. But why not you today? Jesus was the example, not the exception. Jesus taught us two universal truths. One, that we are surrounded by a divine presence which presses against us everywhere. The other, that we are surrounded by a universal law of intelligence that is creative. It is done unto us as we believe. And through the conscious use of this power greater than we are, Jesus healed the sick, he raised the dead, he fed the multitude, he found money in the fishes to pay for the taxes. He turned water into wine. That's one of my favorite. He raised himself from the dead. Jesus taught us a very intimate relationship, a divine partnership that we all have if we awaken to it. And it's very simple. And sometimes because it's so simple, we can overlook its profoundness. When Jesus proclaimed, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no man cometh unto the Father but by me, he was not talking about Jesus. He was talking about you. He gave back to us. How are we ever going to consciously reach God other than through our own nature? It's not something outside of us. There are no prophets that are wiser than we. The God within you is the truth. It's the revelation of the realization of the divinity within you. And that's which the ages will know forever and ever and ever. So the Christ consciousness is developed in us, through us, the realization and the revelation of self to self. God in us as Christ, the Christ in us constitutes the son and the daughtership to the parent mind, the one mind, which is God. Every person is a potential Christ. This Christ consciousness resides in, through, and around and for each and every one of us. Now, with your permission, I would love to have Reverend Gwen read a poem. Let me cue that up for you, Gwen, and share.
Barb, that was tremendous, deep. Yes.
Thank you,
That was
Gwen.
beautiful Christmas message.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
Gwen.
My favorite parts is hearing the metaphorical expressions of the Christmas story.
Let's talk about it after we finish up and share, because I do want to hear what everyone has to say.
So this is The Shortest Day by Susan Cooper. So the shortest day came and the year died. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all along to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight. This shortest day, as promise, awakes in the sleeping land. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace. And so do we here and now, this year and every year. Welcome, Yule.
Thank you, Gwen. Thank you. Whew, okay. How does everyone feel? Give me a thumbs up. How are we doing? So in closing, I just want you to know, we're going to stick around for some Q&A. My Christmas wish for all of you, for all of us, is that you know that you are blessed with a knowing and a gift and a light. And it is to be shared with all of those around you. And it resides within you. And I pray and I treat that you will find the joy and light in everyone and everything that you do. And may you always, now and always, be wrapped in love and light. And may gratitude be your mantra. And most of all, today and every day, as the poem said, Reverend Gwen and I wish you peace. Chrismasi and Gemma. We're going to do some announcements. We're going to do some affirmations. And then I'm going to play a video of me last year before I ate a lot of figgy pudding this year during COVID. 30 pounds later, singing a song. I hope it's called Oh Holy Night. I hope it doesn't glitch. If it glitches, the sound will still play. I invite you just to close your eyes and just receive it. And while I have you all on here before you leave, Gwen and I want you to know that on, Reverend Catherine signed on. I didn't see her earlier. Reverend Gwen and I want you to know that we're hosting a Taizé, our spiritual community, on New Year's Day. We will give you notice of all of that as well. And so please stay with us and repeat these affirmations along with yourself as we say them out loud and we move into the video, and then we'll come back for question and answer time. Does that feel good? Okay, I'm going to share a screen again. Gwen, do you want to lead the affirmation, sister?
Sure.
I would love if you did.
Affirmations today, December 25th, 2020. The light of God is guiding me in everything I do. The light of God is guiding me in everything I do. I am aware of a vibrant light within me.
I am aware
of a vibrant light within me. I allow this light to shine through the blessed uniqueness of me. I allow this light to shine through the blessed uniqueness of me. For the rest of the week, those are your affirmations.
Do you hear it, Gwen?
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in fear and error, pining till He appeared, and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope. The weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices on night divine. Oh, night when Christ is born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Now truly He taught us to love one another. His law is love, and His gospel shall he bring? For fear is our burden, and with all hope, all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all live there, proclaim God's holy name. Oh, Christ is Lord. Oh, praise God sing forever. His evermore proclaim His when Christ is born. Hallelujah.
Could you hear that okay? Let's unmute ourselves. Let's share life.
going to
Let's answer
unmute
some
every-
questions.
I'm going to unmute it.
Gwen, thank you. You were talking about the metaphysical meaning behind the story. Does anybody have any questions or comments or life to share in this
Go
moment?
ahead, unmute if you want. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. What a gift, Barb, today. Thank you so much. And to have about 35 people on here today, it's such a gift to us that you all came and showed up. It's heartwarming. It's exciting. It's exciting going into the new year. And so bless you for showing up, and thank you for your beautiful talk, Barb, your music. Tremendous.
Thank you, Gwen.
If
I
you
love
want to
serving
speak,
with you.
unmute yourself. Please come forward. And I just got
And we have people from our board on as well. We talked about you earlier, but you may not have been here, Catherine. We shared love with you. And Rahima is on. I see Rahima is on. Rahima, my grandbaby is named Rahima. So I'll never, ever forget her name.
I believe you have the ability to unmute yourself. So go ahead. Dan, you always have a question. Who have you got with you? I'm not sure. Dan, you're muted.
I also see Paul's wife and mom are biting at the bit to ask a question.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah,
Talk
there
to
we
me.
go. There we go now.
Oh, there's Dan. Okay.
Yeah,
Paul, you can unmute yourself and get ready.
I have. I am with Crispin here. She was visiting, and he's my cousin for those who don't know. So
Excellent. Thanks for joining.
he's in 101, 102 class, right?
Oh, wonderful. So good to see you.
Yeah, and we are in a blackout, but we are in.
You are
Excellent.
the light. You are the light. That's what you're doing.
That's true. Now, that was a wonderful word, Rev. And I mean, what really impressed me is what interests me a lot, and that is the history of different world religions and how the practices have been consistent. I mean, consistently the same over the years, you know, starting from the ancient Egyptian gods and all that, Horus, and Diwali, the celebration, the Buddhists, and all that. I mean, how you combined that and presented it kind of unmasked the truth of the oneness in all and in the celebration of Christmas. And I loved that. You know, I was looking at my cousin here and I'm like, yes, that's true. And that's how it is. So it's not like this one is unique. It's part of what everybody celebrating all over the world, has been celebrated over the years. And the concept will continue to be celebrated because it's true. And it's the truth. I mean, the universal truth is in that concept explained by you. So thank you so much. I mean, it's just a comment, no
Thank you
question.
for receiving.
That's okay.
Thank
Comments
you.
are good. Yes.
Mhm.
Thank
Paul.
you so much. Paul.
Yeah, the mute.
And Muthoni, you're next. You might as well cue yourself, baby girl.
Yeah,
You're
we
just
want.
laid back and chilling. I need to have some of that. Come on.
Okay, here's Paul. Muthani,
Okay.
go ahead. You can unmute yourself and get ready.
No, Reverend Barbara, thanks. That was very good. I really liked it. I was just wondering, did you say you liked the part that Jesus turned wine into water into wine?
It's one of my favorite things. I have not mastered that yet, but I am working very hard on it. And maybe when I come back to Kenya, you guys can show me and start showing me with your beer that you we can, I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's your takeaway, Paul? The laughter. Muthani, did you have something you'd like to comment or ask?
No, I don't have a question, but I really enjoyed the service. I love the music. I'd love for us to have more time to sing and to enjoy the music. Maybe have a carols night in future.
Ah,
Nice. Thank you
Good
for that
idea.
feedback. I love that. I knew I needed to call on you, my singing sister.
good idea.
Karen Lee, tell me, how do you feel? Anybody then?
Wilkester, you wanted me to unmute you at one point, and I didn't see it before Barb started talking. Did you have something you wanted to share?
I just want to say I just love the music. I enjoyed it. And then also Reverend Barbara explained well in broad way about Christ consciousness. Yeah, I got it very clearly. Thanks so much, Gwen.
Well, I want to tell you, Wilkester, this talk was inspired by you and Christine in our ministerial class last week. When you talked about Christ consciousness, you raised that elevation, that bar. So these are your future ministers. They are incredible. And you also sent me a link to my very own video that I played today, which is why I played it for you. So Wilkester, you inspired me today. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
So everyone, I don't know if you know Wilkester, but this is Wilkester that just spoke. And then Christine's going to speak now. And they are our licensed practitioners in Nairobi. And they are there for you for prayer treatment and sessions. and they are to be called on. They are here to serve our spiritual community. Christine, would you like to share?
Oh,
Are you
Uh,
muted?
thank
There you are.
so much, Reverend. Thank you so much for today. I've really been waiting for this day to celebrate together. The music, the energy, the connection. I've just been on my phone waiting for the time. And thank you so much, Reverend Barbara, for the music, Reverend Gwen, Michelle, everything, and the entire family of CSL Kenya. I've been waiting for this day so that we can just learn together about the Christ consciousness and to know more about it. So it has just been an amazing Christmas for me, and I'm so happy and honored to break together and to know more.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
I'm curious, Val Hardy, are you still on here? How do you love our Kenyan community, sister? Are you there? Or you're muted?
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, I'm here. No, wow, you've got a good following here. It's nice to see everybody's faces and connect. It's hard to believe that we can be just sitting in sort of the same room and we're so far apart and yet we come so close together. It's yeah, just amazing that we can see people in Africa and say hi to them.
Thank you for joining us
Mer-
this morning, Karen.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Val. Thank you. Thank you. Merry
Val,
Christmas.
we've got people from Vegas and Edmonton and Vancouver as well. Kamloops. Yeah.
We also have people in I think it's Virginia. I probably am getting it wrong, but they were in Vegas, and Sharon and her husband are now in Virginia, and they've joined on.
Oh, good. Okay.
Fantastic. Rev
there's
Karen,
Dave.
Rev
Okay.
Catherine, do you want to say anything? Rev Catherine Cardinal, is there anything you'd like to share with us? So Reverend Catherine is a pillar in our community and a lifelong friend of Reverend Connie Phelps. You heard me talk about it earlier today, and I just want her to have a moment to share life if she'd like.
I think is a mess.
Oh, there, I'm unmuted now. That's great. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. I really am so grateful, as Val just said, that so many of us can get together from all parts of the world and to be present together. So I really appreciate the legacy of my friend who has been able to bring us all together to be able to celebrate Christ consciousness together. I really honor all of you that are in class and learning how to use this power to change lives. I honor all of the people on our board and all of our teachers. The many of are on this call today. I honor all of you for giving of your time, your talent, your love to everyone, and so I so appreciate you.
Oops. We lost you, Catherine.
She's in Kenya.
Do you want to take over, Michelle? Do you want to?
I really appreciate our board who are coming together and the little people. And I want to do a shout out to Reverend Gwen and Reverend Barb, who are leading this community with such grace, with such love, and with such just amazing talent and treasure to be able to lead a virtual community as we are 4,000 miles away is exemplary. And 5 years ago, people would have said that wasn't possible. And we now know, because of the legacy of our friend Connie and the foundation that she's built, that it all is possible. And I send love to all of you. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And I'm so delighted you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reverend Catherine.
Beautiful.
Well, folks, does anybody else want to share anything? Now is your chance.
I think Donna had her hand up.
Donna. No?
No?
Okay.
Nope. Okay.
Anybody else?
Michelle, you know everybody. Any words of wisdom?
Well, I don't want you guys to forget, because I didn't want to just brush over our Teze service on New Year's Day, same time, same bat channel, same thing. You're going to come into this sacred space, and it's about releasing and bringing in the new. So that grander idea, and Reverend Gwen, along with many other people, are going to be included in chanting, in reading, and celebration. So please come on time if you can. That I understand power and things, I do, but the earlier you come, the more you get out of it, and we're there with you. Don't forget, my abundant blessings and treatment for you is that you are filled with the light and love of spirit and Christ consciousness. And why not you? Why not you? Valerie Weiner, you came and hung out with us, and I met you for the first time today. Oh my gosh, you want to share anything? Patrick never shared anything. Patrick always talks. What's going on here? Valerie, do you have anything to share? Okay, I feel you. Patrick, bring it, baby. Come on. I can't have a full day without having your voice in it. Come on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. I was waiting for Gwen to call me, but she didn't.
I do pick on Patrick, everybody. I do pick on Patrick.
She always speaks on me. Anyway, I really enjoyed the talk, the sermon, and also enjoyed the music. In fact, when you started singing, I closed my eyes, and at one point I thought I was listening to Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton? Wow, I'm flattered. Wow.
Yeah, it was so big, and the message was good. So I really enjoyed the service. And one thing I can comment about how we easily, or many people easily say that Jesus is Son of God, but they don't kind of accept or realize we are also sons and daughters of God, but still they say we are children of God. How can we be children of God and not daughters and sons of God? And then again, a kitten is a cat. So a child of God is who? 1 and 1 is 2, isn't it? So a child of God must be God, a part of God.
Love and God are synonymous. We are one.
Yeah, that's what came into my mind as we spoke. So thank you very much, and thank you, everybody. And I'm so excited that we were, at one point, we were 33 of us. I hope on New Year's Day, we are going to be 40.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there is extra people in some of the squares. So we were probably closer to 37.
Sure.
That's tremendous. And I'm just so grateful that everybody turned up and showed up and joined us, because we need to share our time together. Your gift to us and to each other is the presence of us coming together.
And the more we, Michelle wants to say something too. Go ahead, Michelle.
Well, I just want to point out that it's really wonderful to see our youth and family ministry here as well. Like we have the children with Imani, we have the teens with Louisa, who's going to be going to teen camp in January. And then Sharon is on here, and Christine, who are with our young adults. So it really is, I mean, that's huge for our community to now even have like those 3 levels of family ministry. I'm so excited.
It's tremendous. So thank everyone for making that happen.
I love us so much. I'm so grateful for us. Abundant peace and blessings on this day and every day. And we'll see you in a week on January 1st.
When you show up for the Teze, it's quiet and it's sacred. But I want you to bring pencil and paper with you, because you will have to write down some things. So come prepared with pencil and paper.
Good to see you, Donna. It's been a minute. I love us all. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you, Gwen. What an honor it is to serve with you, my sweet sister.
Right back at you, girl.
Love you, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Love you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring me that figgy pudding. So long, everyone. I love us, Gwen.
I love this. I love us. This is
Yes.
fantastic. This is soul filling.
Oh, just such a beautiful gift.